In most cases, whenever you raise concern, you are often met with, "But look at all the nice things they've done for you. Why are you putting words in their mouth? They have never done that, and they never will do that. So why are you making all these false accusations?" And that alone is another reason why it is so hard to be believed, especially when you're trying to leave an MLM. Can't you just leave? Well, leaving a multi-level marketing company, aka an MLM for short, is not as easy as just getting up, packing your bags, and going out the door. And here is why. Upon joining a multi-level marketing company, you are met with the biggest cheerleading group and the biggest, in quotation marks, support network you will ever find yourself in. Basically, you got a bunch of people cheering you on, saying, "Oh my gosh, you are it. You are the next big person in the business. You're going to go to the 1%. We're going to see you on stage. You got this." And very often, the people who recruit you are so desperate for a new recruit or like a new friend that they basically will lavish you and love bomb you with gifts, affection, and they basically tell you, "Well, we are your family now, and we will do anything for you." And here is why. So, in case you do not know how a multi-level marketing business works, usually what happens is that here's a recruit and here's you. Whenever you or a new recruit comes in, you basically get placed underneath the person who's recruiting you, aka your upline. So basically, you go underneath the upline. And however, here's the catch, and here's why a lot of the uplines and people begin to love bomb you, and mainly out of desperation, is that for every single new recruit they can get their paycheck, their bonus check increases, because in multi-level marketing businesses, and in most instances, you make a lot more money recruiting people than you make by selling a product. So you basically basically every single new recruit means that their paycheck will go up, and I'm not sure about the increments, but let's say you have you recruited 20 people, kabam, your paycheck goes up by $20 because you get $1 for every new recruit. And that was definitely a very long-winded explanation for something I could say in one sentence: story of my life. So now you find yourself in at the downline, one of the new recruits, and basically you're being told, "You definitely gotta focus all your energy on us. We'll help you work your business. We'll do anything. Call us, and we'll do anything for you. We'll be here for you." That's all the promises you get. Then, as time goes on, you might also hear, "I wouldn't really trust your family member. These people over there, maybe your friends, they just seem a little negative because they keep dissing your business, and you just need to cut out all negative influences. You're either going to choose us, the ones who can actually grow your future, or you choose them, the people who just create negativity, drama, and strife in your life. So who are you going to choose?" And speaking of loyalty, well, why are you not choosing us? You got to come on, choose us, because look at all the gifts we gave you. Look how great we are. Look at all we gave you. But these people over there, they gave you nothing. So why are you gonna be hanging out with the people over there when you can hang out with us? We have all the gifts, and we're here to help you grow your life. Unlike them, who just want to sit around and drag you down. And most often than not, the people over there are most likely your family members, your friends, and just about anybody in your support system who can see through the business and see what's going on in your life. So you basically find yourself mostly out of obligation, especially if you've been lavished with presents, to cut them out, get them out of your life, boop, 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 and get all the negativity, whoosh, gone. So now you're deep into business. Fast forward a few months or a few years. There you are. You basically find yourself working like 24/7, attending all the meetings, and as a heads up, most MLMs do promise you a lot of time freedom and to work in the pockets of your free time when you're joining. However, the moment that you join and the moment that you get knee deep into the business, kabam, you find yourself working 24/7 because your upline says, well, Tony, you definitely got to keep working that business, because if you sit around and do nothing, well, your business is not going to grow. And how dedicated are you? How dedicated are you really to growing that business? Because I don't see that much dedication in you. Come on, get going, get going, get going. And the reason why the upline is so insensitive of literally walking you into the ground, is that the more people you can recruit underneath you, well, guess what? They also get a little bit of that, a little sliver of your recruitment bonus, and it goes whoop, funnels up to them. And also, of all things, even if you sell a product like this phone case, if you can sell a bunch of products, kabam, you actually boost your upline's paycheck via commission sales. And that's why everybody is literally stacked up on top of each other and it's very dependent, especially when it comes to monthly bonus checks and monthly paychecks. Another thing about multi-level marketing is most times you lose money. It means that you could be pouring in a lot of money between taxes, expensive inventory, traveling fees, and a whole lot of hidden costs depending on what MLM you are in. Kabam! There goes a lot of your money out the door, even though you're promised riches and fortunes. And that's why you find yourself working and working. But eventually, you might see the cracks. And that's when things start getting a little wobbly, according to Julie Anderson, who is a YouTuber who I watch a lot. And she basically, in her experience, said that the moment that people started making her choose between who she could be friends with and who she couldn't be friends with, that is when she started seeing through the cracks. Please correct me if I am wrong, but that is what I recall hearing from one of her videos, since she used to be a former rank maker and monate consultant. But going back to what happens when you try to leave, is there you have it. You most likely find yourself in a mountain of debt, surrounded by people who call you your family, but in reality, they use gift lavishing and love bombing techniques to manipulate you into working and to giving more and more yourself, especially if you happen to have a large social circle, massive social media presence, or a very, very loyal friend group who the recruiter could possibly use, who your upline could basically target and like use, who could, I can't speak today, I lost my monorail thought, who basically can use your entire network for their own benefit, and they will basically hope that you can recruit everybody, especially off your social media page, into your downline just to boost the bonus check. That's what I've been trying to say for the last bazillion minutes. Then, as you try to leave, that is when you realize that you have literally isolated every loved one in your life and every single person who could have helped you, who could have financially helped you, who could have helped you with housing, especially if you have to foreclose on your house due to debt, and who could have just really, who could have been your moral support. Poof, they're all gone out of your life because you have been told, because you basically felt obligated to remove everybody who is considered a bad influence, unless you wanted to be cut off. Then bam, guess what? You also get cut off too by the people who called you family, because you are no longer any use to them, since, well, you're no longer a number on a spreadsheet that can help them increase their bonus check. So why waste any energy in you? And there you are, nobody, no money, and, well, and then you begin to wonder, what the heck did I get myself into? Which is a whole nother can of worms. And this is exactly why it is so challenging and so difficult for many people to leave multi-level marketing or other high control groups.